Apostle Heber J. Grant was the first speaker. It was a great pleasure to him to stand before the saints once more in a general conference. We would all be benefited in our meetings if we came with the intention of being instructed. We should not assemble simply out of curiosity, but desiring earnestly that the light of our Heavenly Father might be with us all, to build us up in our faith. If we have assembled with this in mind and intention, we will be built up, and go away rejoicing in the blessings bestowed upon us. God is the author of our existence, wherefore we owe to him the undivided gratitude of our hearts. The saints many times feel discouraged, as if our tribulations were more than we could endure. But if we discharge our duties with full purpose of heart, we will rejoice in the labors before us. When we neglect our duties, these seem burdensome to us. But there is no saint who keeps the commandments of God, but rejoices in so doing. Those that pay their tithings rejoice in this law. It is the knowledge of the truth of the gospel that causes us to be ready to go to the nations of the earth and proclaim the truth, because we rejoice in the blessings of the gospel. So with all the requirements of God. The gospel fills our heart with charity and love toward our fellows, and therefore we will induce them to obey the gospel, that they also may possess these blessings. When we go to meeting and hear sermons, we will hear men sometimes express themselves as being tired of the subject spoken of. Some do not like to hear about the word of wisdom. They are those that do not keep it. Those that keep the word of wisdom rejoice to hear about it. God always makes promises to us upon obedience to certain laws. We must keep these laws, else we cannot receive the blessings. The blame is, therefore, not God's, but our own. I testify that the promises of God are true and faithful. If we discharge our duties, we will receive the rewards promised. Those who listen to the requirement made upon them and do not do them are always sick and tired of hearing the same thing over and over again, and I do not blame them. They are dull scholars, and God must look upon them as such, because they have heard a great deal and done a very little. As with the word of wisdom, so with all other requirements. Those who do not pay tithing are sick and tired of always hearing of dollars. Such men plainly show that they do not pay their tithing. Those who do rejoice in hearing about it. I will read to you a passage from the book of Malachi. Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, Wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Malachi 3:8-10. Ancient Israel robbed God of his tithing, and this may be said of his people now. Very few of the saints pay an honest tithing. The law of tithing requires all surplus property for the building of temples and other purposes, and then 1/10 of the interest annually. This is the plain law. Many pay something and call it tithing, but it is not unless it is 1/10. If my income is $1,000 and I do not pay $100, I have not paid my tithing. When you get through this life, would you get rewarded on the same principles? How foolish it is to be careless because other people are careless. No man can deprive us of our rewards if we are faithful. I believe that not over 25% of the saints pay an honest tithing. We are growing in population and wealth, but not in paying tithing. Some make the excuse for not paying tithing that the government takes it by confiscation, but this is not a fact so far as relates to what is paid subsequent to the passage of the Edmunds-Tucker law. We must not quit doing our duties. I would not cease even if the government would take it. I would pay anyhow, for God's reward is sure, and his testimony is worth more than all sacrifices. There is no blessing equal to life eternal. I know that God blesses those who are true, and if we were true and faithful, we would have a claim upon God to redeem Zion. We are not Zion, the pure in heart, as long as we fail to do our duties. Many complain because all the blessings are not to be had free of expense. They have good intentions, but these cannot build a temple or perform other needed labor. Our faithfulness, our diligence, will bring us a reward. The knowledge of the truth of the gospel will condemn you if you do not act upon this knowledge. Going to meetings will not do any good unless we act upon the instructions given. No credit is due for simply going to meetings. We must digest our food in order to derive benefit from it. So it is with going to meetings. We must carry out in our lives the instructions we receive. The gospel is true. I call upon the saints in all humility to keep all the commandments of God. Keeping half of the commandments will not develop our whole spiritual natures to perfection. We must keep them all. No man can pay his tithing honestly before God and continue a selfish man. Let him contribute to all beneficial objects, and his nature will be pure as regards selfishness. So with the keeping of the word of wisdom and attending to prayers. Those who do so will be developed spiritually, so that they can go into the presence of God our Heavenly Father. They will rejoice and be willing to bring the gospel before the world.